I would like to review or go through the recently launched Canadian pathways for internationally educated nurses so that we show we're making the right decision or we're going for the best fit before we initiate an application. I'm going to be reviewing the BCCNM, the CRNA, and the Nova Scotia College of Nursing. Again, with the BCCNM, one advantage is that they're going to assess you for both the registered nurse, the licensed practical nurse, even the healthcare assistant position. So that would help you enter into the workforce on whichever matches your current nursing competency. Again, all of these pathways come with a provisional registration, and they also help you get your authority to test, which you can use to write the NCLEX. Again, with the College of Registered Nurses of Alberta, they launched the substantial equivalence pathway. Again, you could confirm competency either through passing the NCLEX or having current registration in either of the United States, Philippines, India, United Kingdom, Australia, Nigeria, Jamaica, New Zealand, or Ireland. If you already have your NCAS or your NNAS, you can also port that to the College of Registered Nurses of Alberta, and that would also speed up the process. Within Nova Scotia College of Nursing, they launched the expedited licensure pathway, and you must have current licensure in the Philippines, India, Nigeria, USA, UK, Australia, or New Zealand to qualify to apply using this expedited licensure pathway. Again, if you have your NAS report, you could also port it. If you don't, I'm going to post video links in the description box below on how you can apply to each of these boards. So again, you can take your time and go through each of the processes. Now let's look at the English requirements from these boards. With the NSCN, they just give it a blanket cover because they said international nurses have completed their entry-level nursing program and licensure in one of the 7 designated countries have deemed to have met the English requirements. So again, if you finish from any of those 7 countries, then you are good to go with the NSCN. With the College of Registered Nurses of Alberta, they say if you've completed a nursing education in English for at least 2 years or any nursing practice in English within the past 3 years, you also meet the English language proficiency requirement. With the BCCNM, they insist that all applicants must show a minimum level of English language proficiency. But again, they also accept scores from CELBAN or IELTS. But again, you can also meet these requirements by providing other alternative evidence like a successful completion of a nursing education program in English or a successful completion of additional nursing or confirmation from your employer of nursing practice in a predominantly English setting. Let's look at the financial supports that are available when you apply to either of these boards. With the NSCN, there's no access to financial support for applicants. With the CRNA is unable to assist with sourcing for financial support. But again, they tell you that there are organizations that can assist with your application costs. And if you visit their website, you're going to see a link to some of these websites that can help with sourcing for funding for internationally educated nurses. With the BCCNM, the majority of the fees have been waived due to government funding, or they are available for reimbursement through the Internationally Educated Nurse Program, Nurse Bursary Program. And with the BCCNM, you need to sign a return of service agreement. Again, that's the only time you have all of this access to reimbursements or waived fee. When you sign the return of service agreement, you will be agreeing or you're committing to work in a qualifying job for at least 12 months once you have obtained your nursing registration in British Columbia. With fees, let's look at the NSCN. So again, there's a cost of the application assessment, which is $57 for registration only. So if you're not intending to apply for a license in Nova Scotia, that should cost you $115. For your RN conditional license, that's valid for 4 months, that's going to cost you $125.35. And then when you want to write the NCLEX to get your full licensure, that would cost you about $143.75. With the CRNA, you would pay fees at different steps in the registration process. There's a $235.25 application assessment fee. There's a $502 for your permit once your application is complete. And then there's a $88 for your professional liability protection. With the CCNM, remember most of these fees are reimbursable or they've been waived. For example, the BCCNM registration application fee, there's no cost to that due to funding from the government of British Columbia. The nursing community assessment service application is also free from funding from the government. Your credential assessment, that should cost at about $120 to $650. Again, this is eligible for reimbursement through the IEN bursary program. If you need to write the English language, which would cost about $300 to $395, but again, this is also eligible for reimbursement. The NCAS competency assessment, we said there's no cost to that, especially if you're enrolled in the IEN bursary program. If you're not enrolled, it's going to cost you about $3,000. The registration exam to write the NCLEX is going to cost you about $360. The BCCNM practicing registration fee, which is $600.24, and then the professional liability protection, which is about $119. Let's look at conditional licensure with each of these boards. So with the NSCN, your conditional license is going to be valid for 4 months at a time, and it can be renewed 3 times within 12 months. However, if you fail the NCLEX 3 times, you will no longer be eligible for a conditional license. With the CRNA, if you're unsuccessful at the NCLEX twice, your permit will be cancelled effective immediately. While you may be able to continue attempting the NCLEX, you will not be issued another permit until you have passed the exam. And with the BCCNM, if you fail the NCLEX twice, you are no longer eligible for provisional RN registration and will not be considered for registration until you pass the exam. Let's quickly look at employment. We'll start with the NSCN. Again, the NSCN will tell you on their website that they are just a nursing regulator. Their role is to ensure nurses are registered and licensed to practice nursing in Nova Scotia. They don't have a role in recruitment or helping nurses secure employment. However, they provide these resources on their website and ask you to take advantage of them. So you can visit any of these links to source for employment. With the CRNA, they also are a nursing regulatory board. They don't assist with job searches or employment, but again, they refer you to the Alberta Health Service pilot program, which is going to help make it easier for you to apply for your permit. So again, you will need to go on their website and fill the form, and then you will be contacted. Remember, a basic life support certification is required. So you can also contact Nursing World in the WhatsApp number below to arrange for a basic life support certification to assist with your application. And finally, with the employment with BCCNM, remember we said you're going to sign a return of service agreement and you'll be agreeing to work in a qualifying job for at least 12 months once you have obtained your nursing registration in British Columbia. Okay, so like I mentioned, this is what your authorization to test should look like. And you can notice this is to the College of Registered Nurses of Alberta. And this person is scheduled to write the authorization validity test period is between April to October 2023. Also, this is what your nursing permit should look like if you are also applying to the College of Registered Nurses of Alberta. So again, this is what your permit will look like. Effective date, April. Expiry date, 30th of September. Like I said, I'm going to put a link in the description box, and I'm going to provide you with video guides step by step on how you can apply to either of these 3 boards we looked at or we reviewed. And if you have any questions, you can send them to me on the WhatsApp number I'm going to drop in the description box. But most people have requested to get a paid service that can assist them process their application. Again, I'm also going to drop a different number if you want to take advantage of the paid service. You can reach out to them and can assist you from scratch to getting your ATC and getting your provisional permit. Thank you very much.